Like in the game, once you get to a certain level, it's treacherous, bro. And it's really like, I don't want to say every man for himself, but money changes people. Money changes people. Dope addiction changes people. You know, so these youngsters that think they're having a good old time selling dope, or they think they're in a car with some righteous homeboys that got their back just because they have the blasted on them. Not everybody's your homie. You know, the one that once you get up to a certain level, the one to take you out is gonna be that guy in that car with you. It's gonna be that one you're calling your primo and he isn't your cousin. You know, it's gonna be that homeboy that you know, kicking it with you and your lady. You guys are double dating. You know, it's gonna be him, and he's gonna have to do it. You know, because if he doesn't, he's gonna get out. Who do you think? You think he's gonna die for you? Nah, he's not. You know, so I just, you know, it's a good friend. I lost a lot of good friends like that. You know, it sucks. You know, but
you think that when you get to a certain point, like almost like, you know, people see you stuff like you kind of advance and maybe your life path that you're doing your thing, that you have that jealousy among people who saw you one way and they see you better, but because they're the same people that keep you where they're at, and it's like almost like a reactionary thing, like, oh, that's that thing, he thinks he know all that, boop, 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 out. You know, when they see you, they like, you know, and the homie's like, hey, man, he's doing good. They're like, man, you know, like they hold some type of weight. They're like, what's this like he tripping? You know, it's like you get to talking slick. They're like, hey, where'd that come from? I thought we were cool. I thought we were family. That dude, I broke bread with you and stuff, and now that's how you really feel. But you know, you gotta be careful, like you said. Some of these dudes, you know, you think they're cool, but the whole time they want to be you. You know, what they want your car, they want your girl, they want, you know, they want to be you, but they don't want to say that. But you know, you're just being you, but they want to be you.
Yeah. I had a, you know, it's sad to say, bro, you know, I had an incident happen recently. This was about a month ago. You know, I was eating, I always go eat at different restaurants by myself or with my kids or whatever. And I'm at a table and I see a couple, there's like 4 gentlemen, you know, they look all banged out or whatever. They're in their late 20s, maybe mid 30s, maybe. And one of the gentlemen, you know, makes his way around the table and he's coming around my way. So, you know, either he knows me from YouTube or whatever, or maybe I tagged him before, or he's been with some shit, you know, so I'm preparing myself, you know, whatever. And he goes, hey, can I talk to you? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And so he starts talking to me, and I'm like, hey, have a seat, you know, if you're gonna talk to me, if you're gonna keep standing up, I'm gonna take it as a threat, you know. So he sits down, he starts talking to me, and I'm not gonna say where he's from, but he ends up spilling all this vomit on me. Like, not throwing up literally, but in a mental sense. Like, he starts telling me about, I guess back in the days, how, oh no, first he tells me, hey bro, you know, I see you all over the place, you know, on YouTube, and you're talking about, you know, positivity, and I just want to know, homie, where are you at right now, because I know you like this, and now I see you on all these channels, and you're like this, and you're saying that you're positive, but I remember you when you got out the car and you came and banged on me, and I was with 2 homeboys, and you didn't even give me a chance to talk. I couldn't say nothing.
Hello?
You got off your car, and supposedly he said a while back that I had banged on him. He was walking down the street, and I ran up on him, and I was in the face, you know. He said, you told me to lift up my shirt, and I didn't even get a chance to say my neighborhood, and all this and that, and you were just on me, and you know, and now you're like this, and you're all over, and supposedly you're positive. Like, are you really that positive person? And he starts crying, bro. He started crying, and I'm like, man, this dude's really going through some shit. You know, he's really going through some shit. And you know, I told him, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm from my neighborhood. I'm always gonna be from my neighborhood. You know, I have a different mindset now. You know, I take care of my children. Now I see the bigger picture of protecting my community, or really working towards a goal. I see a lot of stuff that's being done to our people, and so now I want to help the community. If I was like that back then, you know, or whatever, hey, my apologies, homie, but when you get into a neighborhood, you know how it is. You know, you're with the business. You know, what do you want me to say? You know, you want me to feel bad for you? I can't. You know, you got into a neighborhood, and if you project yourself to that standard or whatever, hey, props to you, homie. You know, then you're really about it. you know, what do you want me to say to you? And he was just like, he didn't know what to say, you know, he was just like, you know, I'm like, when you get older, homie, I don't know how old you are, but I'm not even gonna ask you. But when you get older, you go through stages and levels in your life, homie. I consider it every like 5 years. Every 5 years, you know, you go through different, where you see things different. You start dressing different.
Right.
You know, now you want to take care of your health. Now you're about your kids. But it takes experiences. It takes wisdom. It takes for consequences, trials and error. You know, to not repeat things. You know, you'll drive yourself insane if you think you're gonna go gangbang on every dude out here and try to put your neighborhood on the map. You're gonna fight the whole world, homie. You're not gonna win. There's always somebody younger trying to prove themselves, trying to make a name for themselves. You can't fight the whole world. I can't fight every guy that's checking out. If I had a girl, I find that girl. I can't fight every guy that's checking her out. So take it as a compliment. Homie, you to find that girl, cool. Be with her. You know, don't fight the dude that's if he becomes disrespectful, hey, handle that. You know, but I was just trying to get him to see him. He was just
Yeah, I really don't like the McDoubles. The McDoubles suck.
Yeah, that's deep, man.
I don't like that type of meat. The chicken meat is
and
okay, but
it's crazy, like,
that McDonald's beef is just downright treacherous, downright nasty. Don't eat that shit.
Like you said, we changed. I wasn't the same when I was 15. I wasn't the same when I was 20. You know, when I got prepared, just like I'm involved and I'm looking at my life now. You know, I don't, like you said, when you're young, I was ready to, you know, I'm Superman. You know, I'm not saying I'm not Superman, but I'm not going to be, I rationalize things differently. I'm looking at things from different perspectives now. Just, you know, as a more mature male, you know, looking at, like, you know, life.
Right.
I feel that, I'm, you know, it's one of the reasons why I kind of share these life lessons to try to help these youngsters see that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be that. You're supposed to evolve. That's the whole purpose of the moment. You know. Big Hurts 916 is that with Daniel. Fresh out. Tired of smelling like stinky butt, funky armpits. Wash your ass. Go to FreshOutSeries.com and pick you up a bar of soap.
At Honest, we know that touch is your baby's first love language. Our safe ingredients provide the comfort and care your baby's delicate skin needs. Effective for the whole family, with our hypoallergenic physician-tested
I should have bought some
products.
McDonald's stock.
Because when you care
Rather
for
than
their
going to eat
skin,
McDonald's.
you protect their bond with you. 10 ingredients for life's most sensitive skin. Honest.
Airheads you can't not play, even in the skipping. Airheads have more fun. No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And today I'm in here with somebody who is a legend in multiple games. Big Herc is in the building. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. My pleasure is mine. I appreciate the opportunity, man.
Yeah, I appreciate very much that you were willing to drive out from your suburban abode that you now dwell in and show us some personality over here on the podcast, man.
Oh yeah, you know, I gotta come and show some love, man.
Right. So you kind of retired from California recently?
Yeah, I moved last November. Kind of after all the stuff was going on, I went out to Arizona to visit, and I just like fell in love with the place.
Really?
And like within 2 months, I packed up and left.
Mm.
You know, and I'm from California. I'm born and raised. You know, born and raised in Sacramento. Lived all over LA, the Bay. So it was just a transition, man. But the people there are great.
Definitely. Well, you were just attracted to more of a slowed down lifestyle?
It's just the level of living, your comfort zone, as far as just the way you actually deal with your day, as far as just you're relaxed. You know, there's times where I'm chilling in the pool and I'm thinking, what am I missing out on? Like,
Right.
why am I just so just at peace, rather than when I'm out here, I was just on the grind all day, every day, you know, trying to look for this, look for that angle. And Arizona, the way, you know, the area I'm at anyways, more suburbia, people are genuinely friendly, and if you meet somebody, they're most likely gonna, you know, show you some love as far as help you out without expecting anything in return.
Right.
So it's just a different mentality, and I hadn't seen that in a long time, you know. So it was different.
I just spent a week in Hawaii, and I very much kind of left with that feeling of like, man, I am so much more relaxed and laid back out here than I am in LA. And I think that's the challenge, is like to hold on to some of that and to bring that sort of peace that is easy to get when you're sitting on a fucking beach all day. Bring some of that back to your regular life, even when you're, you know, hustling and bustling and all jazzed up on caffeine and whatnot.
It's finding that zen. You know, my sister's a teacher in Hawaii, and she loves it. And you can't pay her to move back to the States, but I went over to visit, and like you said, it's just, your mind is just relaxed. You know, you see clarity, your creativity, I think, is at a different level. And then when I come back here, you're kind of you're juiced up again. It's not like, you know, you're just like, you have this fresh energy.
Right.
So actually, when I come back and forth, it actually works better than when I was staying here, because I felt like I was just kind of getting drained.
Right, definitely. Do any of your neighbors, where you stay at now, do any of them know that you run a fairly successful YouTube channel where you talk about prison shenanigans?
Well, it's funny you say that, because I've been in traffic and seen, you know, white guys with 4x4 with flags in the back, and dudes like, you know, and I'm like, I roll my window down, Big Hurt, man, I watch your stuff, man. Good shit, man, watch your stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm looking at the dude like, damn, he watching the, you know, the fresh out. So it's like, it's crazy, man, because, you know, it's crossed over a lot of beers. It had a lot of law enforcement. Hey, man, I watch your show, dude. Good stuff. What you doing, you know? So it's been a lot of positive feedback.
That's a crazy feeling right there, right?
That's like, man, that's really props. I mean, having that on my, I mean, I've been pulled over numerous times. Cops are like, Big Hurt, man, good stuff. I'm in law enforcement, man, and I you know, I watch your stuff.
That's interesting. Yeah, I remember one time I was in Queens. It was my first time ever having a cop want to take a photo with me. And I said to him, I said, that's crazy you want a photo with me, because I used to do credit card fraud all over the place in this area right here. And he didn't really look like he knew what the fuck to say to that. I was like, oh, it was like 10 plus years ago. It's fine.
But you know, it's crazy is that the cop hit me up on one of my live streams. He was working the day I robbed the bank.
Wow.
He actually said he was getting off shift. He got the call, and he said, I remember we were setting up a perimeter to stop you guys on the morning of the bank robbery. He said, now you're doing this, dude. He said, dude, I'm so proud of you. You changed your life. And that was 20 some years ago.
Wow.
To have that guy still be able to relate and remember me from that day, he said, I remember that day at work. And, you know, the change you made in your life, man, it's just great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's dig in a little bit to your early days. So you were born and raised in Sacramento early on?
Born in Sacramento, lived there like off and on my whole life, between there and the Bay Area. And, you know, used to skateboard, BMX,
Really?
the whole line. You know, when I lived in the Bay Area on Treasure Island, which is now something else, it used to be a military base, but we used to skateboard and BMX, and that was a big thing. You know, back then, Tommy Guerrero, Pop Peralta, Mark Gonzalez, I mean, Jesse Martinez, we used to go and skate Embarcadero, Chinatown Banks. I mean, we were into it.
Wow.
Probably, there was only like maybe 3 black skaters.
I never would have thought that you would have such strong knowledge of skateboard,
Oh man, I
BMX,
had
all
one
that
for
stuff.
side.
Wow.
You know, I had a Schmidt sticks. I had a couple blockheads, and then I used to skate. That was my thing. I wanted to be a professional skater. This is when they only had Trans World and I forgot the other Thrasher. And you know, we used to watch Bones Brigade like.